J.R. Liggins Jr., and welcome to Ebony Speaks. This afternoon, we have with us Mr. Michael Buchholz. Michael is part of the new trend. We don't want to say, do we want to say New Jack?
No, New Jack. This is definitely not New Jack.
Not New Jack.
It's got some of the swing appeal, but the music that I'm doing right now, it's very laid back, but it's real fat. It's got kind of a jazz kind of a flavor to it, with a mixture of that hard-hitting hip-hop.
Let me explain to you. Mike is a musician extraordinary. I like to say that he's a musician extraordinary. There has been a number of things that have been written about this young man. Mike is from Macon, and he's back here in Macon. And as a musician, you are quite an accomplished musician, are you not? You play a number of instruments.
I try to be. Yeah, I do play a number of instruments. As a matter of fact, the only instrument I really hadn't gotten the hang of was the wind instruments.
Mostly self-taught, or some lessons?
I've had some piano lessons and some reed instrument lessons, clarinet and the like, but everything else self-taught.
Yeah. Many people would ask, why, who is this fellow? Why is he on Ebony Speaks? The reason being is that Mike has traveled the world with a renowned artist, and we know him. Originally, you knew him at first as Stanley Kirk Burrell.
Yeah, that's right.
And then a couple of years ago, people called him MC Hammer, and most people know him now simply as Hammer.
Right.
You met him in the Navy. You're a Navy man.
Absolutely. That was about 30 years ago.
That many, huh?
Yeah. We met originally in California on a naval base, and actually we met in Japan on a naval base, and we became very close associates, both having in common music.
Now you and he were roommates, were you not?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So who's the crazy of the two?
Definitely he is.
But he seems so serious.
He's very serious about his music. None of us have really heard him sing or anything like that. But
Can he sing? Probably not.
Well, he's got a good rapping voice, let's put it like that. He enjoys music. That's one person I've known who's enjoyed music. He really enjoys performing to it. He enjoys the energy that he gets when he hears the music, and it really comes out in his performances, and that's what really made him.
What made you decide to get into music? When was it that you decided to get into music full time?
They say there are two things that cause people to become an entrepreneur, and that's inspiration and desperation. And I was very desperate, and I didn't have a backup plan, which is really messed up. Y'all don't do that. I didn't have a backup plan. I was working out at Bassett Furniture, and
here,
actually, yeah, I think it's here in Macon. It's near the airport. Okay. And I was working out there spraying furniture, and I was doing temporary jobs and everything else, and I was desperate to do something else. And without a backup plan, I took my last check, which was like about $139, in my pocket, and filled my car up and just drove toward California.
Now, this is post-Navy.
This is after Navy. Yeah.
Now, so how does one go from a Navy career, well, what's much a career, you were just in the Navy, but how does one go from the Navy to back to Macon, stripping and finishing furniture, to prime time, music-wise?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
A lot of young people. A lot of young people watch this show, and there's a lot of young people right now that I know who want to do and want to be or see themselves traveling the world with a bank of keyboards and all this sound and all these pyrotechnics and all these different things that are going on stage. A lot of people see themselves there. So how does one go from Macon to the capitals of the world, the music world?
I tell you, I think, and I truly believe this, I think this happened to me simply because I didn't know any better. A lot of people...
Which you don't advise.
Which I don't advise, but a lot of people put a whole lot of stock in knowing everything there is to know about the industry before you